4.
Can you dispatch an exercise for me? A vehicle struck a MC-12 to be located in the fire department training area. There's a report of fire and explosion and multiple casualties. Have them operate on Fire 1, stations 1, 2, and 3, please. Crews are going to be tasked with coming up, mitigating the fire, gaining access to the aircraft and the victims. First thing they need to do is extinguish the fire so that they can get access to the aircraft and the victims. Then the second thing they should do as they go in is anybody alive or calling out for help, they should assign somebody, hey, get this guy, and then they go in and shut down the aircraft, and from there it becomes completely an EMS event after that. So the aircraft is shut down, the fire is out, and now they're just managing casualties. It's what we call a high consequence, low frequency event. So we know it could happen at any given time. Anything that makes a lot of injuries, you have to be ready to manage those. They're not common, but they're important to train for, because if you get them wrong, the consequences are fairly significant. And it's designed to test procedures for when the amount of casualties overwhelms your ability to respond. So we have one ambulance, they're going to have 7 victims, and they're going to have to manage it.
We got the victims out of the hot zone, and we started triaging them according to our start triage protocols. To see where they go, we called in helicopters and extra ambulances for the exercise. Just simulated, but yeah, just so we can run through the thing, hone our skills.
There are a lot of flammable metals on an aircraft. So they burn with a heat that is atypical for structures. They're usually much, much hotter. They train monthly on everything that could possibly fly in here, and they're required to understand the hazards, the pin locations, any of the aircraft features that may be unique to that particular airframe, and the engine shutdown and fire suppression procedures on board from the cockpit. So they should be able to fight their way in, shut the aircraft down, and take care of all victims. And today is kind of the culmination of that training where they put it all together.
It builds confidence. We're going to be the direct recipients of all of this support in the unfortunate event that we would ever need it. And 2, it really helps our leadership kind of understand the flow and the progression of communication on how to get these resources out to downed aircraft, or in this case, a ground collision with an aircraft, as quickly as possible.
We triaged all the patients and we determined which ones were serious condition, which ones needed to be transported right away, and then making sure that they were transported to the proper facilities. Oh, it was good. It went well. Yeah, everybody did a great job.
All the victims were triaged correctly as far as yellow, red, green, etc. You guys were doing well, so I threw you a curveball. I had one of my victims get up and wander off. When that happens, go get them, bring them back. You don't want to ever lose accountability of a victim. If you have to, use the MPs. Obviously don't fight with somebody, don't physically try to restrain them, but call the MPs, have them gather that person back up.
It's good to keep our mind fresh on these different skills and tasks. When it comes to any type of emergency scenario like this, it's good to get out here and get our feet wet and make sure that our skills are up to par.